The Walt Disney Company is talking about how they are going to turbocharge their parks, and they keep pointing to a future in which robots will roam the parks as characters that will interact with guests. Well, the only real tangible evidence we're seeing of robots is actually this Elon Musk event featuring a robot called Optimus. Lots of robots called Optimus, actually, and the future is a little scary. Let's talk about the future of theme parks and perhaps the world here on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is Mr. Vash Guy. Vash, I've often been accused of being a voice that is generated by AI, and personally, I'm offended by that. I am an AI top to bottom. Has it made you uncomfortable to work in with a robot?
I'm a little afraid every single moment, Jonas, because I don't really know if you're here to help us or take over the world. I'm not sure.
Then I think you should hit your deliverables a little bit faster if that's what we're talking about here. But today I want to talk about this. Tesla's Optimus bot makes a scene at the Robotaxi event. This is funny because there are hints at a larger future with robots that are also going right next to the cybercab idea, which is really, really fascinating. A bunch of Tesla's humanoid robot Optimus robots walked out alongside the reveal of Tesla's new Robovan vehicle at tonight's cybercab event. What a bunch of futuristic words altogether. The robot is also seen in a video doing daily human tasks like bringing in a package from the porch and watering your plants. The Optimus will walk amongst you, Tesla CEO Elon Musk says. You'll be able to walk right up to them and they will serve drinks. Musk explains that it can do basically anything and mentions examples like walking your dog, babysitting your kids, and mowing your lawn. He said it will cost $20,000 to $30,000 long term. So babysitting your kids, Vash, I don't think you're in that space just yet, but would you trust a robot to watch your children?
No. I don't think I'm quite there at that level. I will say, even having this thing live amongst me, I don't know if I'd be completely on edge, but there would be a little bit of a trepidation there until maybe I got comfortable with the thing. And look, it looks promising, and some of the video that we've seen coming out of this event look awesome. But it is one of those things where, is this the future that has been foretold in sci-fi media and otherwise? Even Elon Musk at the event, he said, hey, look, looking at the future, there's an 80% chance this turns out really well. And everybody's like, what about that 20%? So even he is kind of, on edge of this stuff.
I'm going to say there are fully functional humans that I'm not sure that I would trust to watch my kids. So, to each their own on the robot part of this. Mowing your lawn, I'm hearing something like these things have a 3-hour charge life and they move pretty slow. I don't know if they're going to get it done on lawn care, but let's see. I think this will be the biggest product ever of any kind, Musk says. After the presentation, live stream footage showed people interacting with Optimus robots at tables and in crowds. Still, the robots weren't doing much other than waving in the style of Astrobot. By the way, I love Astrobot. There was a table of drinks, but the Optimus bot was not seen doing more than holding a cup of ice. However, one bot could hand over small gifts at another table, play rock, paper, scissors with guests. And there was an enclosed gazebo with a bunch of dancing robots inside. Musk revealed a lighter and faster Gen 2 bot last year. And in an April earnings call, he said Optimus would start performing useful tasks by the end of this year and could be sold externally by the end of next year. I would love to know what these things do inside of Tesla at this point, because if these are $20,000 to $30,000, and I'm assuming that's a retail price, what are they having these robots doing internally that is saving them so much money? Are they having any cost savings from developing these things? I have to wonder, because that would be the proof in the pudding right there.
I would say so. That would be really interesting to see if it displaced any workers at the Tesla factory. But I would assume that there might be industrial grade applications for this technology, and perhaps it's in use right now. We know that KUKA, actually, that's used actively in the theme park space, got its start by essentially assisting with the manufacturing process, I believe, for automobiles. But obviously, that technology has had a wide range of use cases applied to it. You can see a little bit of that robot stuff right here. And what has been read so beautifully by Jonas AI, you can see, hey, delivering the bags right there, delivering the little small gifts. That's fun. Washing up. That's some great stuff right there. Also, too, as noted in the article, it was on display and actively not just handing out small gifts, but actually serving drinks from that tap right there. That was pretty cool to see that tech in use, I must say. Look at that. Getting the water there.
I mean, that's handy. There's part of me that wonders, like, I'm trying to go through my own day here, and if I wanted to go send somebody to go get me a cup of water, one, I can ask somebody to go do that. Yes, I could do that, or I could get up from my desk and go down and get myself a cup of ice water. I don't know that I need to pay $20,000 to $30,000 for that. I'm starting to think like, okay, if I wanted to mow my lawn, and assuming that my lawn is not mowed by a person who understands what they're doing, that I could literally just tell them push the lawnmower over these areas right here. I'm assuming I would have to start it and things like that. I don't know that that's worth $20,000 to $30,000, and I'm also going to assume that those articulated joints right there are probably going to get clogged up by bits of debris and leaves and things like that. I wonder about maintenance on something like this. But to bring this back to Disney, that's the thing that I want to do. I know that we have a company right now. They've got the hollow tile floor, which is amazing and looks really cool. And a human walking on a hollow tile floor looks pretty similar to an Optimus walking slowly into this event right now. I'm aware of that issue here. They've also talked about putting robots and automatons in the parks of some kind. Oh man, look at that. Like, it's so close. And not to be a misogynist here, but I'm very focused on the hips. They don't move right, is what I'm trying to say here. That was a little joke. We're seeing the actuators exposed in the forearm. There's so many things that I'm seeing here that make me unsettled by this, and I wonder what they look like when they're trying to move quickly. I am wondering about who they could put in the parks using, let's say, a skeleton like this one, when they struggle with a fully centered Tiana that doesn't move in any natural way whatsoever. It moves smoothly. I'm going to say this. That moves smoothly. It does not move naturally. Those are not natural motions they have her making right there.
No, and that's not really indicative of the character, as we've gone over before. It's kind of movement for movement's sake, which is a little bit unfortunate. I do wonder what this could potentially be used for. Hey, perhaps we're looking at I don't know, the cast member of tomorrow. Oh, no, that's a dark thought right there.
It is, but at the same time, putting one of these in the parks is a lot cheaper than the fight for 15, which this seems like that might be going away more because of inflation than anything else.
Sure. I think there is a world in which autonomous robots are used in some fashion in the Disney parks to a large extent. I don't know if it's anytime soon, but I mean, we've already seen like PhotoPass, for example. We've seen a number of patents and things in that space looking to mitigate just how many people actually work a system like that. Previously there were PhotoPass photographers at every character meet and greet and so forth, and there still are, but we've seen patents where it's like, well, could we have a human manning a station where they're manning like 5-10 cameras at a time rather than just one? And obviously that reduces how much labor that you actually need for something like that. And you're exactly right, Jonas. As the cost increases, the operating cost increases for these parks, I can see them wanting to mitigate that in any way. Now, for something like Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I do wonder how much money they actually spent on something like a Tiana's Bayou Adventure audio animatronic, when you consider that these robots here are, I mean, I guess at the consumer level, they might be, at the $30,000 range? That has to be cheaper than maybe some of those critters that only have 1 to 2 motions. I think I have a video here as well talking about how, They dance as well. I don't know if you know that.
I did not know that, but at the same time, I look at something like this, and I wonder why there isn't something like this on Spaceship Earth, and I think there's something kind of lost right now. When I was young, Spaceship Earth had FaceTime on it. They didn't call it FaceTime, but man, look at the dexterity in those hands right there, and that is something that they can that's funny actually, right there. Just think about what you could do in the Haunted Mansion with something like that.
That
So
would be cool.
we're talking 20 to 30,000 for something like this. And again, we're talking retail of 20 to 30,000 and whatever in the world Disney is up to right now. And there is a ridiculous feud between Bob Iger and Elon Musk at this moment. And I'm not going to say who's ridiculous here, but someone out there is knows exactly what I'm saying. They're sure what I'm saying on this, that the two of those people don't talk for whatever reason. You look at the innovation of Elon Musk and the fact that Bob Iger wants to say he's Mr. Technology over here. And the things that we see based off of that is he wants to build a streaming service because that's never been done before. No one out there has built a streaming service. And here at the Disney company, we're a technology company. Elon Musk is over here, and this is the second part of this this video here. Here is Act Two. I'm going to point this out. The Cybercab, which is the real thing that's going to change the world a lot sooner, is the Tesla CEO Elon Musk unveils Cybercab robotaxi. It is an automated car that looks like it's going to be priced under $30,000. So when we talk about people movers and monorails and things that are cute ideas in theme parks, but were proof of concepts for things that would have been used for an actual experimental prototype community of tomorrow and not a theme park that happens to be named Epcot. These are things that Disney was, the man himself, Walt Disney, was pointing at. And right here, you got Musk doing that. Now, I don't think that he has the charm to be a Walt Disney. There's no fairy dust on Elon Musk over here. But I'm seeing a guy who, if he was actually partnered with the Walt Disney Company, they could do a lot more with this. I mean, can you even imagine if they said that they would integrate this technology with a Cotino Story Living by Disney or whatever it is, or Wisteria or Asteria or whatever the name of that other one is. Look at that. It doesn't even have a steering wheel on it. And I'm sure that started as an idea for just a random Tesla. Like, what if we didn't give them controls at all? I also feel bad for the people with motion sickness who need that illusion that they are controlling the vehicle in order to keep themselves from getting sick.
That's gonna be an issue.
Oh,
Also,
and there's a bus too.
The Robo Van. 20 people at a time, Jonas. I think these are really forward thinking. This is what you expect from a technology company, as you were going over there, Jonas. And I was thinking the exact same lines that you were when I saw these announcements. I'm like, this is real innovation. This is really pushing the envelope forward. And I'll agree that even Apple, at sometimes they innovate as well. And I look at Disney and I'm like, I mean, the Holotype floor is awesome, but outside of that, there really hasn't been much innovation coming from the Walt Disney Company in any meaningful way. And I mean, yes, as a theme park proprietor, perhaps you do have technologies that elevate your theme park product, so to speak. But when you look at the entire company, what they're putting out, streaming service. I mean, what is the innovative part of that? Essentially resurrecting cable in these channels that you actually have on that streaming service, or your amazing IP. Nobody's paired our amazing IP, Jonas, with a streaming service. Now that's truly innovation. I don't think so.
They could have, and very, very simply, they could have rented out the creation of a streaming service or cable on the internet. It's never been done. That's of course, putting radio on the internet. Maybe they could talk to Mark Cuban about finding them somebody who could put their technology on a streaming service. When looking at it at this point, by the way, I'm going to point out that Disney could have made a lot more money selling that content to other people who already have streaming services rather than the $100 billion that they have spent trying to make streaming work at the Walt Disney Company. I'm not even kidding. We can do an entire video on the fact that they are wasting time and money there on that. But Again, going back to this, I'm like the thought in my head is, why is there not a Spaceship Earth sponsored by Tesla at this point? And again, for those of you who think that's just shameless commercialization, I would remind you that there was a hall of aluminum at the original Disneyland. So,
Yes.
I'm not that insane.
There was a bathroom of the future as well. Don't forget that, John. So that was real innovation right there. No, no, wouldn't it be awesome though, in order to incorporate these ideas? Let's say like, hey, instead of doing world nature, world discovery, whatever, let's have a future world, but actually perhaps you have some of these autonomous robots walking around in it, or you have Tesla vans actually, transporting you to various areas of Epcot, of that future world showcase right there. I mean, really put on this kind of Epcot of the future idea that I think a lot of people were attracted to back in their childhoods when they actually went to Epcot, and now getting into their adulthood, you were seeing this kind of slip away. These technology companies like Tesla should absolutely be incorporated there, and I don't think, yeah, there is a little bit of marketing and advertising there, right? But if you do it in a way that is, I don't know, magical, one could say, people really don't see it that way.
Well, that's the thing that we see. As far as magic goes, I know that right now AI is this term that is in the same way that we have genetically engineered spiders in Spider-Man as opposed to radioactive spiders, in the 1960s. Whatever that big word was back in the day, there was a time when magnets was the magic word. So AI becomes this tool where they can say that anything that has any intelligence whatsoever to it, and it could be as simple as linear algebra, they're calling that AI as this mystifying thing, this wiggle word that they can do anything with. So I don't know. I don't want to say that Tesla is a magical company, but they're doing things that other people are not doing, and they're doing it in a way that is very reminiscent of like, okay, the Cybertruck. If someone gave me one, I wouldn't turn them down for it, but it's going for a look, right? No one wonders when they go past one of those things whether or not they saw a Tesla Cybertruck. They know they saw a Tesla Cybertruck, and that thing looks like something out of a science fiction film. The Robotaxi, a little bit closer to the designs of any random city, but that bus right there, that looks like something out of a 1980s science fiction, well-made science fiction right there, and it serves a functional purpose. Transport is one of the largest industries out there when we talk about manpower. This is an area where it can pay for itself, like services like Uber. And again, not to go too deep into my MBA history here, but services like Uber are essentially loss leaders that when they can get to the point where they can just hire a $30,000 taxi, they can pay for that thing pretty quick, hiring out that unit to go pick people up and take them places. And you know what? No one's going to accuse a robotaxi of saying the wrong thing in a cab. So, there's something to be said here. Sorry. This is a video that is more speculative than usual. But when Pro and I were talking about what videos we wanted to cover, and this popped into the middle of all this, robots that can actually be household servants, buses, actual public transportation that can be done without having to hire a human and transport people long distances while they sleep, or robo-taxis. This is Walt Disney stuff. This is experimental prototype community of tomorrow stuff, and the kind of thing that I actually think we would be much further along if he hadn't left us in the late 1960s. I don't know. Vash, you have any thoughts before we wrap this up?
I completely 100% agree with you. This is definitely Walt Disney type of stuff. It's been a while since we've been optimistic about the future, and that's what Walt did so well with a lot of those Tomorrowland films and so forth, and Tomorrowland itself, Epcot, and all of that, and the company championed that for just a little bit while. And while they may have, partnered up with some corporations in order to make that optimistic future a reality in the form of Epcot, I think a lot of people were inspired by that. And getting back to that a little bit, it feels pretty good. So I look at technology like this, and I agree with you, Jonas. I was blown away. And yeah, it's very Walt-like. Sad that Tesla and Disney can't get together in some meaningful way. But c'est la vie, politics.
Yep. With that being said, we want to throw this to our commenters. What do you think about this? Would you buy a $20,000 to $30,000 household servant in order to help with tasks I'm going to say that personally, me with the human dexterity that I already have, I struggle to fold a shirt. So I don't know how Optimus is going to handle that. Maybe Optimus knows how to do it, and I'm just struggling. As I often do with household tasks. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Like this video if you like this video, and consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.